All right, welcome back. Now we are on the health segment, of course. You know our favorite doctor is in the house. Dr. Kelvin Owusu is here with us. We're going to be talking Bronya, Christmas. And you know, the fact that it's Christmas, it's almost like it's licensed to chill.
Yeah.
In it.
That's the time we all enjoy. Enjoyments.
Yeah.
The next 3 weeks,
and then
Charlie.
we throw caution to the wind many of the time. And Dr. Kevin is going to help us to understand what are the health precautions to be particularly wary of this season. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning,
How
David.
are you?
I'm very
Welcome,
well.
Doc.
Good morning, Kokui.
Good morning, Doc. Always good to see you.
Shada.
Oh, Doc, dear. Always from head to toe. He doesn't.
I mean,
You don't take it easy on us at all. No.
Shout outs to my tailor.
No, your tailor day for. No, he let me know they worry you guys. Charlie, every
everyone
time,
have a tailor like this.
He's a solid guy. He's a solid guy.
Yeah, oh, he knows his stuff. Yeah, he's good. All right. Yeah, Doc. So I'm sure he's going to be making you some serious shout-out for the Christmas season.
I'm telling you.
Now, you're going to tell us what we should and shouldn't be eating and doing over Christmas. Just stay healthy for that period.
I mean, yes, Christmas is always a difficult time for us as medics because we struggle to keep people in line, in quotes.
Really?
Because
Is that bad?
Yes, because you are trying to tell them that, oh, stay healthy, but they're also trying to tell that we've had a tough year, Charlie. We just want to let go and chill. Then, you know, so doctors are not really friends when it comes to, you know, this period. But of course, we have to still do our job. So I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but yes, Christmas is coming, and with it, a lot of health concerns. I mean, chief amongst which, I mean, this is the first open Christmas we are having since 2019, and so it's really an unprecedented year. You know, and so number one thing we're going to discuss is COVID. You know, thankfully now we have quite a bit of the vaccine available, but unfortunately there's some resistance. People are refusing to take the vaccine.
Yes.
You know, and from a health perspective, it's quite difficult to understand why. You see, of course, I know that there's been a lot of media, you know, hype, media engagements about the negatives and the positives, and also there's a lot of confusion in the system.
Yes.
But you see, frankly speaking, I mean, the vaccine is making a lot of difference. You know, I mean, the COVID, it caused so much damage. I mean, so many people have lost their livelihood, so many people have died, you know, but we are alive, and to stay alive, we really need this vaccine to keep us going. You know, and the reason why we need to do it now is because Christmas, a lot of activities, lots of family gathering. Now, if you are not vaccinated and you happen to carry the virus, you could infect people in your family, the people you love and cherish could actually be put at risk. It's because the thing about the vaccine is that it does not necessarily prevent you from actually catching the infection. You know, it prevents the fatal outcome or the severe negative consequences. It reduces that significantly. And so what that means is that if you have it and you infect your people, they are still going to suffer the consequences, and we don't want that to happen at all. Especially the older folks. I mean, the grandparents especially are at risk. You know, because when they get it, even if they are vaccinated, the outcome could still be, you know, quite devastating. So we don't want them to get it at all. And then we also need to get to the point where we have herd immunity. And so as many people as can take the vaccine should do it, so that herd immunity can begin to show in the population. So COVID is definitely something that we need to take note of in this particular period that we are entering Christmas.
So we still need to be masks on,
yes,
sanitizing hands. There are lots of events coming up though, Doc, and events that are going to be crowded.
Exactly.
Outdoor and indoor.
Exactly.
I mean, people feel that, look, we're not really hearing crazy numbers of COVID infection and death anymore, so why should we still be worried?
Yeah,
and all these events are still going to be happening.
Yes, it's really a difficult situation, because a lot of people have also got the COVID and they recovered, so they are like, it's not that bad, you know, because they had a positive outcome. But there are also significant numbers of people who got it and they are still, I mean, I personally know people who had COVID in 2020 that are still dealing with complications today, you know, almost a year later. And so it's really a big deal. So the fact that you recovered doesn't mean that it's something that you can just throw all caution to the wind. We still need to be careful. And as usual, your health is your own responsibility, not mine. It's yours. My health is my responsibility. I can only give you the information. It's up to you to put that information to good use. You know, so wear the mask, sanitize your hands. I mean, hand washing, sanitize, and go together. Social distancing, if possible. Emphasis on if possible. You know, but at least you know that if you are wearing your mask, your risk is significantly reduced. So let's wear the mask and get vaccinated. The vaccine cannot be overemphasized. We need to get vaccinated. Thankfully now they are making it possible for younger people to also take the vaccine. So let's get vaccinated so that we can actually enjoy 2022. Because now with Omicron rearing its head, it's a bit too early to know what the impact of the Omicron is going to be.
Yeah.
But let's get the vaccine done so that we can at least protect ourselves from the other variants until we know about Omicron specifically.
Okay. That's good.
What else should we be wary of?
HIV.
Okay.
Yes.
Wait, does it spike around this time of year?
Well, usually festive periods is a time when people come together, and when people come together, things happen. You know, body no be firewood, so yeah.
Oh, you mean indiscriminate liaisons?
Oh, exactly.
Hey, I like the way you
On commission, you know.
Rendezvous.
I'm telling you. And HIV is, you know, a lot of attention has shifted to COVID, so
Yes.
people sort of lost sight of HIV. In fact, just the last week we celebrated World AIDS Day, and it's the numbers are going up slightly, so we really need to you know, shift attention back to HIV and know that HIV is still with us. You know, COVID has come to add, not take away. So HIV is still there, it's still causing problems. So let's be careful, abstain, be faithful, use a condom, very, very important. And of course, when we talk about HIV, obviously goes with unplanned pregnancies
Abstain,
as well.
be faithful,
Yes.
use a condom.
You know, unplanned pregnancies also spike around this time because people are coming together, the boggers are landing, you know, it's a lot of traveling around. Of course, there are car boggers also going back to wherever they came from. So it's really a time to pay attention because
So
if you lose
September,
that,
No, I want to
there's a
understand
lot
the
of
boggers are
births
landing
expected. September must be a high birth month.
oh yes, September is one of the
September is one of the highest birth because
I think that's why they put academic year from September.
Wow. September and May. Yeah, at least in Ghana.
Yes, at least
September and May.
but in Ghana it depends on the festivals as well. You know, so if
Okay.
you go to if you come to Accra, Homowo is actually so. If you count 9 months on Homowo, you see the
After-
peak. If you go to Ho, the Yam
Yeah.
Festival, you know, it happens. So
okay,
there's that ebb and flow in our birth rate relationship. So Christmas cuts across the whole country. So that's why Christmas is very, very important because people come together quite a lot during Christmas. The third thing is good old asthma. Yes.
Oh yeah. Is it Hamatan?
Exactly.
Okay.
So you see that, I mean, it's not the usual harmattan, but you can still see that the dust is picking up gradually.
Yes.
And you know, once the dust is picking up, you know, the upper respiratory infections and irritations, so our asthmatics are at risk. So this will be a time for them to, you know, make sure that they have their inhalers on hand.
Yeah.
You know, the thing about asthma is that sometimes, or it's for a long time, you may not have anything, so you might might even forget where you put your inhaler.
Okay.
You know, but this is the time that you want to remember and put one in your bag so that whenever you notice the symptoms, you can take some puffs and then get to the nearest facility to help take care of yourself because asthma can kill and it does kill. You know, so very, very important. Teachers should also should take note because if you have asthmatic children in your class, you know, you need to know specifically that this child is asthmatic, that child is asthmatic, so that, you know, you're on the lookout for them maybe during the play times or, you know, at any time pretty much, so that if anything's happening you can quickly attend to them. So very, very important.
Okay. How about all the lovely food we'll be enjoying, food poisoning? Do you see a lot of people coming in with, hey, I went to 3 parties and ate everything from pork to smoked fish, and they come in with all
The
kinds of
buffet.
tummy aches? The buffet.
Yes, we do get a lot of food poisoning around this time because again, like the parties, the family events, and because of the pressure to cook everything, somebody may not actually cook it well enough, you know. So food poisoning actually goes up during this time, especially. I mean, we see them in the emergency room and all of that. So very, very important. Of course, we cannot say that you shouldn't go for parties. You know, you should go for the parties. But you know, if the food doesn't look too, you know, or there's something slightly off, don't ignore it because it's been well garnished. Charlie, be careful because food poisoning is critical. You know, and for just a bit of education, food poisoning doesn't mean that you have been poisoned.
Okay.
It's just a term we use to describe diarrhea as a result of food you ate and within the past 6 hours, 6 to 12 hours.
Okay.
You know, so when you get such a diarrhea from such an event or such a happening, it's called food poisoning. So it's not like somebody put poison in your food. But since you mentioned food, we also have to talk about weight management during this period.
Oh, yeah.
Now, again, you know, that's why I started by saying that people don't like doctors at this time because again we've come again with weight management issues. But it's true, you know, during Christmas period, people go on their cheat period or they revert to anything goes, you know, because we are tired, the year has been stressful and all of that, you know, but we really have to pay attention to some of the things you're eating. You know, oils and fats and oils are going to be huge this period because we are frying our pastries, we are frying our meat, we are frying our rice. You know, everything is being fried. You know, so if you're going to indulge, then you must find a way to exert as well, so that at least you maintain some balance. So I'm not going to say don't indulge. By all means indulge, but just remember that after the indulgence comes the exertion. So you must exert so that you can maintain some balance. Then the final one I want to add is alcohol, binge drinking. Okay. Again, it's a festive period, so people are going to drink a lot of alcohol. You know, I mean, alcohol is good. Let's not see, let's not be too holy. It's good to drink alcohol, but the binging is the problem. Okay. You see, because if you are a social drinker, let's say you take a bottle of alcohol every 1, 2, maybe a week, 1 bottle. Now you go for a party this December, and then boys have met, and you take like 10 bottles of beer. That is binging. Okay. And your body is not used to that amount, that volume of that quantity of alcohol presented to your body at that one time. Yeah. So it can cause problems for you. And it can cause acute alcohol issues, you know, which can range from liver damage. You know, it's a problem. You know, so by all means, try not to binge drink. You know, just a few bottles is fine. Ideally, a man can only take up to about two units a day. Ideally, woman only 1 unit.
In this Ghana,
well,
2 units for a guy.
That's why I said ideal.
No,
Doc, have you been going to parties? Wait. What is a unit? What is a unit?
So a unit of alcohol,
yes,
is what you find in a mini bottle of beer. So that's about 300 mils of beer.
No, but he's not talking about capacity. He's talking about the ideal situation and the responsible things.
Exactly.
This thing. So 2 units. So let's say 2 small bottles of beer.
Yes.
Is what an average man should drink.
Yes, a day.
All of the men in the studio are looking at you like, Doc, where is this information coming from?
No, but what's wrong with that?
2 units of beer.
Well, I mean that's the ideal situation.
Ideal.
So if you are going farther away from your 2 limit, then it means that you are entering into dangerous territory. Then you might end up coming to me with a liver failure.
And that's beer. That's not hard liquor.
Yeah, that's
like
beer.
Gin, vodka, whiskey.
What they call a shot of. And you see, vodka, for instance, there are so many different kinds of vodka, ranging from about 30% all the way. I've seen vodka 70% vodka. You know, there's vodka that if it touches your tongue, it will burn your tongue. So that's why they throw it at the back of their throat. So depending on which vodka you are taking, a shot could be 1 unit, and that same shot could be several units, depending on which vodka we are talking about. You know, so yes. So that's vodka, and that's the hard liquor for that matter. So you really need to know your alcohol before you get yourself in trouble.
So I think it bears repeating that you're saying that 2 bottles of beer,
small bottles,
small bottles,
the 300 ml,
the
yes.
mini, maximum a day is ideal.
It's ideal.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
Well, not every day, but at least you are going to indulge. At least 2 units is fine.
Okay.
For a guy, and for a woman, it's only 1 unit.
Like 1 small bottle of beer.
Because the biochemistry of women actually does not make them tolerate alcohol as much as men can do. So they can only go about half what men can do.
I have a question about. Okay, so let's move away from all this fun stuff. There's this talk about mandatory vaccine card presentation at events. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I know that it's hard to accept, but if you also consider the impact that if there's a COVID outbreak from one event, let's say an event that's, let's not even think too far, only 10 people attended that event, then there's a COVID outbreak. Now each of those 10 people is going to go home and interact with 2 or 3 other people. Yeah. So it's going to infect those other people. Now those 3 people are now going to go to school, to work, to market, and go and infect 5 people each. So you see the ripple effect now from just 10 people, you have about 500 people now infected. Yeah. So imagine an event of 100, 1,000 people. You know, so I mean, yes, it's harsh, it's hard, but I mean, it's looking at the times that we find ourselves in. I mean, I support it. You know, so that is part of the reason why everybody needs to vaccinate, because indeed, if a lot of people have been vaccinated, and by now that may not have been necessary. You know, but unfortunately, the vaccine is available and people are not going for it. So now this is one of the hard lines that the government is trying to take to force people to go for the vaccine, so that we can actually keep as many people safe as possible. Because indeed, our health sector cannot handle the pressure if the numbers go out of hand again. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe the GHS should set up at some of the major events, and when you're coming in and they say, okay, have you been vaccinated? No. Here, you can take your jab.
That's all.
Have you guys?
I think so.
Sure.
That would be an incentive to
the
actually
mountain
go.
has to come to Mohammed at some point.
One
Otherwise,
way or
your
another.
vaccines will expire.
That's a great idea, actually.
Yeah, they should, because we know the events, they're advertised, right? So just come and set up a nice table.
I mean, just like
have
the
fake-
GRA setting up at the events, the Ghana Health Service can also
Yeah.
join them. So when you
Why-
go,
you-
to,
you-
that's all.
And then
Problem
you
solved.
add NIA. So if you have a Ghana card, okay, take this jab, get your Ghana card, pay everything. All
We do
right,
everything at
one stop
once.
shop.
We've all-
That's
we've come
all.
to you.
That's all.
That's all.
I
Oh
see.
man.
So
Thank
now,
you,
you know, we talked about binge drinking, right?
Yes.
The impact of drink on weight. So the weight management issue, we looked at food, but talk about the impact of drink on weight.
Okay, this is an interesting topic to talk about. So we know for a fact that alcoholics
Yeah.
tend to be underweight.
Yeah.
Because alcohol has this funny relationship with it has some calories in there, and also has a depressant effect on the brain. So when you indulge in alcohol, and this is where it's always challenging, because people assume that alcohol makes them eat more, but actually alcohol makes you do less of everything, whether it's eating, whether it's
Sex.
sexual performance.
Yeah.
Alcohol depresses you.
Okay.
But, and this is the big but, before it depresses you, it increases your
Euphoria.
Exactly. So it makes you feel as if you are doing. That's why it's been described as the fool's courage. It gives you some sense of
Liquid courage, yeah.
Yes. And this has been tested. In fact, there was a research done between couples. They gave one couple, usually the man, they gave the man alcohol to drink. So before then, the couple would have sex. Then they'll give the man alcohol to drink. Then on a different day, they'll have sex again. Then they'll ask the partner to describe the feeling. Now the result was unanimous. On the days that the partner had the alcohol, the performance was far less. From the female partner. But if you ask the male partner, the male partner says that
His
he
performance
performed
was much better.
in the second
So
time.
he thinks.
Exactly.
In his mind.
So because of that depressing effect, most alcoholics don't eat as much as they are supposed to eat. So they tend to have a deficit. So they break down a lot more fat. So that's why alcoholics tend to be rather underweight.
Yeah.
So that's one of the clearest relationships between alcohol and weight.
But
That's so
there
weird.
seems to be, and I don't know, I started to be corrected, but there seems to be, it depends on which alcohol you're drinking. So if it's a beer, it seems to rather give people what you would describe as a beer belly, as opposed to those who drink the harsher, stronger alcohols.
So that's why I said that the clearest association is what I described. There
Okay.
are other not so clear
Relationships, yeah.
relationships. Because the other thing is when you drink alcohol, you're not likely to exercise.
Okay.
Because you're depressed.
Okay.
I mean, it's depressed your.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Wow.
exactly. So that's I cannot draw that association in the 30 seconds, you see.
Yeah.
But the clearest association is what I described earlier, where the chronic alcoholics tend to lose weight because they're not getting in enough calories from
Chronic
their
alcoholics.
Yes, from the food they are eating. Because of the depressing effect of alcohol on the whole system, the whole central nervous system.
At what point would a doctor describe someone as chronically alcoholic?
Okay, so it's two things. There's a psychological dependence. Now you realize that when you are drinking alcohol, there's a physical dependence. Sorry, when you drink alcohol, let's say if you drank one shot, you feel the alcohol in your eye, like about and so as we say. But after a couple of times of taking that one shot every day, you realize that it's not giving you that same effect. So you now graduate to 2 shots, then 3 shots. Then at some point you realize that when you wake up in the morning, you can't function without taking that shot of alcohol.
Okay.
At that point you are physically dependent and you are psychologically dependent as well. You are chronically dependent as well when you now start noticing changes in your biochemistry. So your liver starts showing signs of alcohol effect, because the liver cells are going to die. Remember that everything you take into your body, everything you take by mouth, and in fact everything you take up the anus as well, goes to the liver first.
Okay.
So whether you are taking an enema or you are taking food by mouth, whatever goes through the digestive system goes to the liver first.
Okay.
So alcohol goes to the liver first, and so if the alcohol going to the liver is so much, it can cause liver damage. That's why most alcoholics tend to have liver cirrhosis.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it proceeds to chronic liver disease and then liver cancer. So that's really the the progression.
All right, Dr.
Thank
Tobin,
you.
how do people get in touch with you?
Well, before then, actually today is my 8th wedding anniversary.
Oh,
so
wow.
I-
Oh,
yes,
congratulations.
Congrats.
I've grown. I've grown in
No,
business.
clearly.
Yeah.
Congrats
I'm-
to
I'm getting
congrats
there.
to you and Annie.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
shout out to Annie for tolerating me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a difficult guy. So
Does he
No,
seem
she's,
difficult?
he doesn't seem so, but
Yeah.
we never do in public.
I know, right?
You know, no, but shout outs to
Yes,
the missus for holding you down
I know.
and being your right
You know,
hand
she's also a
woman.
medical doctor. She
Yes,
used to
I
come
met
here
her.
as well, right?
Pediatrician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Fantastic.
thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's a fantastic conversation. Congratulations to you once again.
Thank you.